Howdy folks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Cortez Mag TV. I am your host, Cortez Mag. Thank you for joining me today. So before we get into this week's interview with the immensely, incredibly talented Hemmingw8y, I cannot wait for y'all to meet him. I do have a few news items to cover, but before I even get into the news, I gotta do something else. Y'all, on June 12th, I am hosting my first reunion show, and that's gonna be the On the Way Up Atlanta Season 2 reunion. If you are in Atlanta and you can't at all make it, there are a few tickets left for sale. General admission and VIP. My recommendation is to get that VIP to get your wine, your food, your pictures, all of that. So if you go to my Instagram, there's a link in my bio to get you there. Matter of fact, I love y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and put that info down below in the description. So if you wanna get tickets, feel free to do so. June 12th is the date. You do not want to miss it. It is going to be lit. I promise you, on everything I love on my mama, it's gonna be so lit. All right, so along with that, I want to, go ahead and give y'all what y'all came for. So let's get into the news this week. Now for my sports people, my first tidbit of news, if you will, is one that you've probably already heard about a little bit, but I do want to put it out to my audience because it brings up a few important, questions that I have. So Naomi Osaka, wonderful tennis player, withdrew from the French Open this week, and her reason was because she was fined $15,000 after not appearing for a press interview for a conference. You know how they do the interviews after they compete. So she didn't appear for that. After saying that she was no longer going to be doing press, she kept her word. Now her reason for not doing press was that she felt like, and she gave some really, really great reasons that I honestly agree with. She gave some great reasoning as to why she feels, post-match press or post-competition press is detrimental to athletes' mental health, specifically hers. And she talked about how she struggled with that. And so to preserve her mental health and to look out for herself, she decided that she was no longer going to do press after her matches. She was still going to compete, do everything and make her appearances, but that was not going to be a part of the deal. And so officials fined her for not appearing for press after her most recent match. And so she decided to resolve the whole thing by withdrawing from the tournament, from the French Open. Now, like I said, that seems like, okay, they're done, like it's over with. She's just not gonna compete. But this brings up a larger issue of, should we expect athletes to want to talk after competition? Competition is sometimes high stakes and your emotions are high strung. And sometimes the last thing you want to do is talk to someone. Everyone is not built for that. There are some people that are charismatic, that do well talking to media, but there are some athletes that you can probably imagine that might be, a weak point for them, or that might be a struggle. And some of the questions may be triggering, especially after competing. And especially after, think about if they lose, or if they're not as successful as they want to be, right? So I get where Naomi is coming from in saying that she doesn't want to engage and partake in that all the time. And I feel like that's an athlete's right, but some people feel like, that's part of the job that you sign up for. You want to be a professional athlete, you're going to be in the spotlight, you're going to get asked questions. So slippery slope, either way it goes. I fall on the side of kind of, preserving mental health, but y'all feel how you feel. Let me know in the comments if you agree. And I want to pivot now to another news story that caught my eye this week, and that is Dreamdoll, who is a rapper and social media personality and reality show star, that decided this week during Gay Pride Month to come out as bisexual. So I want to clap it up for her for definitely giving her audience and people who may not even know her someone new to relate to and someone that they can identify with. And so for her to have such a large following on social media and to have the reputation that some people say reputation, but to have the reputation that she does, I feel like that's definitely cool for her to go ahead and make that move and do that. But I do have a question for y'all as it pertains to coming out as bisexual. For a female celebrity, do y'all feel like it's easier? Do you feel like a male celebrity would have the same? Because she got an overwhelmingly positive reaction. I'm wondering if it would be different for a guy, or if it would be more stigmatized, or if he will automatically be called gay. Just a question, just a thought. Do y'all look at it different with a woman being bi versus a man? Or is it the same? It should be the same, but I don't know if in our society it is. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about that as well. So with that, y'all, I left you with 2 questions to think about. I'm not gonna overload you with much more. I want you to stay tuned for my interview with Hemmingw8y. You are going to love him. I promise you, stay tuned. I'm so excited for you to meet this week's guest. Say what's up to Hemmingw8y.
Hola, ¿cómo estás and stuff?
Muy bien, mi amigo. ¿Y tú?
Yeah.
You know, I speak a little Espanol.
Yeah.
You know, we very bilingual over here.
That's all I got.
Oh, well, you ain't named Cortez and then you don't speak no Spanish. It's a given. But how you feeling today?
I feel great. How are you?
I'm feeling awesome. I'm happy that you're here. You are somebody who is just doing great work in the city of Atlanta and elsewhere. And I'm ready for these people to get to know you. So let's just jump into it. So would you describe yourself as strictly R&B, or are you kind of cross genre? Describe that situation for us.
I would definitely say my situation is a nice mixture of neo soul and R&B. It's a nice little crossbreed right there.
Okay, so the cross section of R&B and neo soul. And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask you kind of where did you develop your neo soul and R&B influences?
Definitely Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, so talk to me about that then. So it's good, that works then. So your environment did kind of affect your artistry.
Okay.
Tell us how.
Well, I am a PK by nature, so that's a pastor's kid for those that don't know what a PK is. I am a PK. I grew up in the church, so I have a choir background, you know what I'm saying, like the whole praise and worship team and all that stuff. Like I have that background. And when I moved to Birmingham, Alabama, and I started to stay with my dad, I ran into this guy named Young Vocals. His name is John Bill, Young Vocals. Never forget him. He was the guy that gave me my first shot. Reginald Archie. Those are like the 2 guys that I ran into, and this guy named Jeremy. They were in a group where they were trying to start a group and they needed somebody else. They were like, you want to be in a group? I'm like, sure. I don't know what I'm doing, but cool. Because I'm a dancer. Wow. That was like that moment. They were like, I heard you sing before. Like, we would love to have you sing. And I started singing with them at this place called Mamas and Sons. It was literally like something that you would see on The Color Purple. It was like,
come on, Suge.
This old house, like up on the hill, away from everything, and they would go and they would perform there on Friday nights. When you walk in, it looked like a juke joint, red lights. They drink out of mason jars. Like it was that type of situation. But
that's where I want to be.
It was so
I love
cool.
That.
It was so cool. Like the vibe was so cool. But that's like where I learned these soul part of things, and when it came to like doing covers and stuff like that. Like that's Birmingham was that influence. Like they were the ones that kind of like brought me into the whole soul thing. Because Birmingham is like big on that.
Wow. And you know, I'll be honest, you know, I've not really spent a lot of time in Alabama, and I don't really know a lot of, well, I guess I know a lot of country artists from Alabama, but thinking about the black music and black music influences out there, I really appreciate you coming on and kind of talking to us about that.
Please go to Birmingham, Alabama.
Is it still a good scene in terms of music?
Yes. Like Birmingham is where I kind of picked up the whole, I like a live band, like a live arrangement. I love a live arrangement. Now I like the tour arrangements as well, but when you go to Birmingham, they're really, really big on live music. So a lot of the shows that they have, you're gonna go to, they're gonna have bands. They're gonna do a bunch of covers, you know what I'm saying? They'll do original music, but it's very, very rich there. The scene there for like neo soul and R&B is very rich. Very, very rich.
Dope. What's your go-to cover?
My go-to cover is Charlene every time. Every
Woke
time.
up this morning,
yes.
That's
the one. That is my go-to. When I really gotta like fumble to find something, that's the one.
I love it. Come on, Anthony Hamilton. I love it. So let's talk about what got you here. So you're in Atlanta now. You're doing your thing. What took you away from Birmingham, and what was the light bulb that went off that said Atlanta's where I need to be?
Just Birmingham. I love Birmingham, Alabama for what it is, but Birmingham, Alabama is not progressing quick enough. And it's like, you know how like you kind of plateau somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I plateaued. I felt like I kind of hit my peak there, and it was just like, okay, what's next?
Did you leave or did you have to be pushed out? You know how like sometimes you get the signs that something is over in your life or it's time for you to move on, and you end up getting pushed out because you don't move soon enough?
A lot of stuff started falling apart. I lost my house. I lost a lot of friends around that time frame. I lost my job. Like everything had started happening. They ended up hiring me back like right before I got ready to leave. But all of that started happening. I came down here for an audition for a dance company, and I ended up making it. When I made it, I had to be in Atlanta every Sunday and Wednesday for rehearsal. So I was riding like the Greyhound and the Megabus down here every week, Sunday and Wednesday for like 2 months.
Oh wow.
Okay, we can go ahead and stop doing this. Like, let's go ahead and move. And I hit my best friend. And I was like, hey, I said, let's move. I said, you want to move? I want to move. You know what I'm saying? Your lease gonna be up. Let's go ahead and do it. And we just
Y'all did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like in a week time frame, like we hit it.
No fear, just.
He was a little bit more scarier than me. I'm like the guy that jumps like,
okay, best friend.
Yeah, I'm like the jump off the porch guy. He's like, I need security. I need to know where we going, when we going, what time. Do you have the keys yet? Like, he's like one of them. I'm like, let's just pack it up. We'll figure it out when we get there. That's me.
I got you.
So yeah, we definitely got out of there. But I had to be the one to really, really push it. Even though I was scared, I still pushed it. Like I was just like, let's go.
Okay,
we'll
for
figure
sure.
it out.
Now, you brought up, a few times now that dancing was your original focus and original goal. And I feel like you still, you incorporate dancing into what you do now. I saw you with the choreography outside a little while ago. But let's talk about that transition to artist. When did that come about in terms of you being here and deciding that that's what you were going to do?
Last year. It was last year, right before my dad passed. I was working with an artist by the name of Keljon. I had been working with her doing like artist development, choreography, creative direction, all that stuff, and then I started writing for her. And she kind of like pushed me off into it because I was around her in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, could you write for me? But it's like when I go to the studio, it's like, I need the reference. So I need you to sing me the reference. Like, could you sing it for me? And everybody around was just like, I don't understand why you don't do music. And I'm just like, that's not for me. Like, I don't want to like dig off in that realm just because I've been on the back end of it for over 10 years. So I know exactly what happens, what it looks like, what could happen. And I just was a big fan.
I feel you.
Of all of that. It was a lot to like digest, and like literally we recorded a song together, and from there like everything it started happening. Like everything started happening from there.
Everything just fell into place, huh?
Yeah.
So let's talk about these things that fell into place. What do you have going on right now that the people need to know about? I mean, it's a lot. You're involved in a lot, and you got a lot of great things on the horizon. So let's just go ahead and start checking them off. What's number one right now?
The album.
Okay.
The album. Finally, the album.
And what's this album called?
The Disconnect.
Ooh.
Yeah, the album's called The Disconnect. It's about the rise and fall of a relationship. And we are releasing it, fingers crossed, June the 8th. I've been hitting so many different complications, but I know that I'm hitting those complications because of, you know what I'm saying, I know this is going to be a good project.
You get tested the hardest right before breakthrough.
So I really feel like this is definitely going to be the one, but the album is like number one on the list right now.
I love it.
Definitely number one.
So the disconnect, the ups and downs of a relationship, is it personally influenced, or is it just kind of some general stuff that you witnessed?
Very much so. Very much so personally influenced. A lot of it, probably like 98%.
Okay, 98.
Of the project is like personal, and then everything else is kind of like off of general stuff like my friends have gone through and things of that nature, or even things that I've talked to other people about, and they just haven't had the opportunity, the platform to really, really say it or know how to say it. without being judged. A lot of people don't say things, write things, put songs out because they feel like they're going to be judged by what it is that they're going to put out.
You're right.
And I'm a little bit more fearless when it comes to that because at the end of the day, it's a tool. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool. And you don't know who you can help. Like you don't know who you can help with just kind of telling your story. So some of it I was very, very transparent about.
Is that one of your goals for your music, to be transparent as well as therapeutic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like for sure. Like that's the reason why I was saying, like, it's music that you can smoke to. It's music you can sit down and drink wine to. You can have your drink to. You could go out and party to, but still be able to get your point across. Like, I just try to keep it that way because a lot of music, R&B music that's out now is just music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel like anything.
They're making it to make a hit.
Yeah, like it's like it's that 808, it gotta hit. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't care about the context of it. It's like it rhymes, it's easy for y'all to learn. Cool, we gonna go with it. So it's just like one of those things where I really want to bring something to the table where people can be like, I can relate to this. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he was talking to me. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I wanted to feel like when you listen to it.
I love that, and I feel like the more people hear your music, that connection is going to be instant. So speaking of you getting the music out, let's talk about the Manifestation Tour.
Yes. The Manifestation Tour is something that I kind of like schemed up in like December.
Not schemed.
Everything that I do, I feel like it's like a Pinky in the Brain scheme. It's like, okay, what can you do now? But the Manifestation Tour is definitely something I schemed up. I talked to my manager, Mars, and we ended up teaming up with Iconic Conversations, Cleo, with Iconic Conversations at M3 Studio, and put it together. It's just so I can tour, network, and get the music out there. But in the midst of doing that, I'm taking other artists with me that I feel like are dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I took like a couple hidden gems with me just so like the world can kind of see them and they can get the opportunity to network. Because a lot of them, they have the know-how, but it's like they just kind of like don't embark on it because they feel like, oh, it costs too much or whatever the case might be.
Or the market is too wide.
Yeah. Or they're too scared to be like, oh, I'm gonna go do a show, and they're scared to perform for 5 people. And like I tell people all the time, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 500 people,
listen,
it should be the same.
Yes.
Your energy should be the same.
Yes, absolutely. And that's for every creator out there, y'all. The audience you start with is not where you're gonna end up, but that is a core. If you have one person watching your content, I've been there before. If you have one supporter, perform for them, because that one person, if you give them a valuable experience, the word of mouth will spread and the audience will come.
You don't even know who it is. Like I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. Like you can have 100 people in the crowd, and it's no disrespect to anybody, but it could be 100 nobodies. You feel me? Like just 100 randoms, and then you got a crowd of 10. But those 10 people, out of those 10, there's like maybe 5 people that could change your life forever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you half-assed the 10 and gave the 100 like everything when you really could have changed your life.
Absolutely.
Like really, really could have changed your life off those 10.
You better give me some math right now.
So it's just like, I tell them all the time, and I know it sucks when you walk in a room and you're like, wow, like it can be depressing when you look at the views, but at the same time you have to understand everybody started somewhere. Everybody did not jump off the porch and it was like, ooh, I got millions and millions of views.
Right.
Like it doesn't work like that.
And we live in this viral age where people think it's supposed to be that easy. Yeah.
Because they see everything that happens once it goes viral. They didn't see how many videos like had to be made before they went viral, or how many covers they had to do before people start paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these artists that they see today are artists that have been doing this and remixing people's songs and dropping covers and doing showcase after showcase and losing showcase after showcase.
Right.
Before it finally, you got the primed up prime.
The highlight reel.
Yeah, you got the highlight.
We got the highlight reel. We don't have the behind the scenes that went into it. And so that's what I really appreciate, is that you're giving artists a platform in this day and age where all of that goes through their mind. And I went to your showcase and I was able to see, you know, a lot of artists get their a few artists in particular get like their first stage experience at that show, and so that's valuable. How valuable is it for you to continue doing that or letting that be a part of what you do?
Very. I'm a giver. I give. You know what I'm saying? I give till I have nothing left. That's something my mom taught me. I watched her do it all my life. And I feel like my purpose is to give people opportunity as much as I possibly can whenever I can, because I didn't have a lot of people give them to me. So I feel like I don't want to be like the people before me that didn't give it to me. I would rather be that person. If I've got a platform, I got a mic, you know what I'm saying? I got a speaker, I got a venue. Yeah, we gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna do this. Like, and it's no shade to like any of the other showcases in Atlanta, but I'm pretty sure you know, like I do, they charge $25 a song. You know what I'm saying? And if it's just to perform one song, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they charge you at the door, or you gotta bring 15 friends in order to perform one song. And I'm just like, a lot of these artists, you don't understand what they had to do to get to your venue. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might have had to spend $40 on a lift just to get there, to pay $25 just to perform one song for y'all not to even look their way. Y'all not gonna share their shit, y'all not gonna check on them, y'all not gonna say, oh my gosh, good job, nothing. They just there to y'all, their number. You call their name, after that they perform, they don't see you no more.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
The humanity is taken out of it.
Yeah, like y'all don't really care about these artists, and I know that I might not have the biggest reach at the moment, but at the same time, as it grows, I can grow with these artists. I make sure I check on them constantly. I keep all my information in their inboxes constantly, trying to give them opportunity constantly, like different little things. Like, we have our own little network that we kind of keep together, and I just want to keep growing it. I feel like it's something that a lot of people need to start doing, because you never know who's gonna blow and who might remember you. You know what I'm saying? You never know who's gonna reach back for you later on just because of what you did for them now. So, experience for it.
Words to live by, y'all. Words to live by. So as we get ready to close out, if I'm a viewer who is just getting exposed to you today, where do I start? What do I need to pursue first to get to know you? Outside of this interview.
I would definitely say my social media. I'm very transparent.
Okay.
I'm very, very transparent. All you have to do is literally look up Hemmingw8y, and you're gonna find everything.
Spell it out for them.
HEMMINGW8Y. Easiest way to get all the information that you possibly would need to get on me.
Explain that name for us.
Ernest Hemingway, the writer from the 1920s. He's one of my favorites. One of my favorite books is The Have and Have Nots. So I just really, really adored his penmanship as a person. And when I was coming up with a name, I had to think about something that was meaningful. I didn't just want to throw something together. Like, I wanted something that meant something to me. And then I changed the A to an 8 because that's my manifestation number. And it's about new beginnings. So that's what the number 8 it stands for. So yeah, I try to keep that number. Like, my album drops June the 8th. A lot of the shows.
You better come with the consistency.
I kind of keep it there. The manifestation tour, there was an 8 in there. Like, I keep it around me as much as I can.
That's dope. I need to learn my manifestation. Change my name to something else. Next week it's gonna be something different. So last thing before we end, we gotta play a game.
Okay.
I know that Neo Soul is your jam. So we're gonna play One Gotta Go.
One Gotta Go.
I'm gonna give you 4 artists from the Neo Soul genre.
Okay.
And you gotta eliminate one. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Anthony Hamilton, Maxwell.
Wow. Okay.
That's your 4. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. So y'all know. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Anthony Hamilton, and Maxwell. One gotta go.
I really don't want to get crucified. Maxwell can go.
Not Pretty Wings.
Yeah, Maxwell can go because Anthony Hamilton is one of my influences. So I definitely would not be like, oh no, Anthony Hamilton, Erykah Badu. I grew up off of that with my mom.
Erykah gotta stay. She stays.
And Jill is like literally like she's one of the blueprints. I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
This is the quickest one. Like, there was no thought in his mind. Y'all can't crucify him because, I mean, he was honest and transparent, just like he said. Bye, Maxwell.
I'm sorry.
And with that, I want y'all to go follow him. Again, it's HEMMINGW8 Everything is there. He's got all of his music available from his link in his bio. He's lit. I'm lit. I want y'all to stay tuned. It's your boy Cortez Mac. I just want to say thank you for supporting me. I hope that you subscribe to my videos. If not, do it now so that you can get all my heat when it drops. Turn your notifications on too so that when I drop my weekly content, you're gonna be the first to know. I love you. Bye.